Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back with another video. This one is another one of my Celtic related videos. Celtic's playing today, and at the moment, unfortunately, not doing very well in the league. I'm a bit worried about the situation because the new manager seems to be really good. I hope he proves me wrong, but he looks a bit like Zidane as well. But anyway, in this video, obviously, as the title suggests, is asking the question, or is about whether what Celtic FC could ever become fully and truly world class. And I'm hoping to talk about my ideas about on how that could happen. But anyway, I hope you enjoy it, especially Celtic fans, obviously all around the world, and I hope I can convince more people to support Celtic as well. So here you go. So number one, I think the club has started off on the wrong foot, and people say Peter Lowell. I think he's got a lot of work to do, Peter Lowell, to prove people wrong. People call him Peter Paid Well or Peter Lie Well, and that kind of thing. So I think he's got a lot to do to show that he does want to invest. One of the things is, I think if heaven forbid Celtic doesn't win a trophy this season, then I think all bonuses should be scrapped until Celtic win a trophy. I think bonuses should be subject to winning trophies, and maybe for each trophy won, there could be like certain members like Peter Lowell could get £1 million bonus, but only if trophies are won. But obviously that would be an incentive for him to invest. And this season, there's a potential, I think, of 60 million. I think it's up to, or maybe that's the maximum amount of money that could be got. But I don't really know how it works. But I think it's between 35 to 60 million to get into the Champions League. So I think the league, the team is not, the club is not being very smart in how it's handling its transfer business, signings and that kind of thing, of course, because it's like penny pinching, many people say, but at the same time, it could cost in the longer run. So if heaven forbid Rangers do win, it looks like they could win a treble this season, or these two trophies. So, and heaven forbid if they do well in Europe. So it is, I think, quite worrying times, because I do worry if it means that money that they'll get will mean that they'll become financially stronger and be able to dominate in the future. So yeah, it's not got off to the best footing, because I think a lot of people, including myself, were hoping for good, decent, quality January signings, transfer signings. But hopefully they'll prove us wrong. And I mean, Kyogo's been struggling with form, so I hope that he will prove his critics wrong and score at the crucial stage in the season. Anyway, moving on. Number two, I hope the club will learn as much as possible from like what world-class teams get. I do wonder in the Scottish League limits and hampers Celtic from becoming like truly world-class, because it's not a very big league. So as I say, it's a big pond, or even a huge fish possibly in a very small, tiny pond. So it's difficult to see if Celtic can like learn from teams like Real Madrid or Man United or Liverpool or even AC Milan or teams like that, like what they do well and how they could replicate those sorts of things within the rules, so they don't fall foul of financial fair play. That's another thing they can learn. Perhaps I know I contradicted myself about the investment, but I think they definitely should invest what they can legally as much as they can, like on quality signings. It's difficult to develop youth because I think with Celtic and Rangers both, I think short-term success is so key. As I say, that potential up to 60 million, I think it is. It's difficult to have project players that might be good in 10, or even if it's just 5 years. That's still quite a long time to wait for a team like Celtic or Rangers. So I suppose that's one of the difficulties in producing good young players and like giving them time to develop. Number three, I hope the club. I'd love for the club to get as much investment and sponsorship as possible from all possible sources, which could be used to develop the club in the future. But so as much investment as possible, and I think that would be really key to developing. But although, again, I hope they don't fall foul of financial fair play, the dreaded financial fair play, if they do get that money. Obviously, that's I say it's dreaded financial fair play because if a club like Celtic does get a lot of money, then it means they can't spend as much as many other teams, because otherwise they'll fall foul of financial fair play, if I understand it correctly. But I'd love to see, I'd love for the fans and the club to see how much money the club can legally get. So including how the if the fans could invest in or even donate to the club, like have shares in the club, equity in the club, and donate to the club, and see what legal ways they could do what they could do legally to benefit the club. So yeah, could the fans invest in, have shares in, equity in, or even donate to the club to help it out? Number 4, I would say hopefully the share price will increase, so therefore more investors and sponsors and whatnot will be interested in investing in and sponsoring the club, having shares and equity in the club, and that kind of thing. And also, maybe a rather naive idea of mine, but I wonder if people checking out the website and the YouTube and the socials, i.e. social media, for those who don't know what that term means. Some people call it socials and some people call it social media. But yeah, I've heard people describe them as socials. So the socials or social media, basically, to put it simply. If people check out and help Celtic to trend and help to promote the club around the world, I wonder if that could help the club financially, and therefore that money be reinvested into buying even better players, investing in the youth and things like that, but especially buying players. I think this season is so important to buy the best possible players. Unfortunately, we missed out in the January transfer window. So in terms of buying quality players, but hopefully they'll prove us wrong, as I say. But I suppose we'll have to wait all the way till summer, which I think is in August, my birth month. But that's a fair amount of time away, like 6 months away, to wait to buy. Because signings, I fear that Rangers by that time might be ahead of us, heaven forbid. But hopefully, as I say, the boys can prove us wrong. Number 5, I think it's really important to beat teams like we're playing tonight, Hibs, and not drop any more points. And hopefully a couple of more good wins against them, the Rangers, will mean that we can get ahead and hopefully win this league, which will be even more satisfying, I think, if it's such a close league and we're struggling, we're not playing too well. But last time when we were struggling, I was thinking it would be interesting if Brendan Rodgers and the boys could put it out the bag and beat the Rangers, and then they did. So hopefully that will be the case. Hopefully they'll just go on a good run and then get loads of confidence. I hope Kyogo, as I say, can prove people wrong, as he's not been included in the Japanese national team. So hopefully he can prove people or his critics wrong, and show what he can do. So that would be pretty cool, obviously, if he could do that. Number 6, as I often say, sorry, I think I've jumped ahead. Number 5, I'd love to hear from read from other Celtic fans about what they would like to see in the club, like what sort of investment they would like to see, what sort of signings they would like to have, if they think that Brendan Rodgers is the right man, or what manager would they have, what manager do they think is available if they think we should get a new manager. I'd love to, as I say, read from and hear from Rangers fans. Celtic fans, a big one, on what I imagine Rangers fans will be mocking us if they go ahead, of course, and at the moment they already kind of having a go at us. But I'd love to read from and hear from Celtic fans. I better get that wrong again. Embarrassment over there. On as to say if they like to see a new manager, what players they like to see. Generally, I know a lot of people want to sack the board already. Number 6, I would love to see Celtic have a partnership with Italian teams, as often mentioned. So it'd be cool if they could look at what they could learn from each other. I know I've mentioned that in previous videos, but how they could train together, especially at youth level and that kind of thing. Number 7, I would love for Celtic to be a representative of the Celtic countries, and like Celts, given the name. I hope that can be a benefit for the club. So Celtic being a benefit for the club, so that they can use that as marketing. So people from Celtic countries and Celtic backgrounds will support the club all around the world, and that sort of thing, and discuss how to benefit the club and that kind of thing as well. Number 8, I'd love for people to mention as well in the comment section, and maybe talk about why they love Celtic and like positive things about the club and that kind of thing, and maybe again some negative things that need to be changed, but also like positive things. I'll say like what people love about the club, why they fell in love with the club, and that kind of thing. And number 9, also like marketing. How can the club market itself better so it can improve, and that kind of thing, increase the fan base, increase its brand value, and just generally improve. Again, any ideas people have for how to improve and that kind of thing. And number 10, it's a bit of a challenge, like youth development, again, especially wanting short-term success. I think of it with Italian football as well, like short-term success, and my impatience for such. And at the same time, trying to develop the youth. I talked about with Rome, like how I'd love for them to be world-class players, but then somehow develop the youth, which I think is difficult to give them opportunities, game time. But I think this season we Celtic need to have like not too many project players in the short term. I think that's something maybe if the club gets so much money, it can help to develop those players. But really important to win the league this season so that the club can capitalise financially, so that they can get the mix between youth and experience. But again, as ever, hopefully I won't have too many more cringe-worthy moments. I can't believe I mixed Rangers and Celtic up. But yeah, I'd love to know what people think. Hopefully it wasn't too cringe-worthy. Sorry, I was in a bit of a rush for this video, so I've been all over the place. But anyway, hope you have a great time wherever you are, and